Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie and today I'm going to be doing books that I've read recently, and this is over like a couple of months. There's not a lot of books. Also books that I've recently purchased, and as usual everything, it will be my honest opinion on if I actually liked it, if I didn't. And also, if you hear noise in the background, I've got the fan on, like it's finally warm in England. But yeah, let's get into the video. I'm so excited. I've genuinely become a new girl. Like, there is not a lot of romance here. We got a lot more of another genre. I never thought I'd see the day, but yeah, let me show you. Okay, so first book I have is By the Book by Jasmine Guillory. I was going to say Isabel, but Isabel is the character. This is a black book, black author, which I love. It was a nice book and it was a nice easy read. It's not something that's like thought-provoking. It is just like your typical romance at the end of the day. Like, they end up falling in love. It's nice close proximity, a bit of enemies to lovers in there as well. But overall, it's just a nice easy book to read, and I'd really recommend it for the summer because she leaves New York and she ends up in Santa Barbara. So now she's on the west coast, if I'm getting my geography right. She's on the west coast. It's nice, it's sunny. So from that as well, like, it's just such a vibe in that sense. The description of where she's staying is really nice. Isabel works as an assistant in a publishing house, and she's trying to get Bo Towers. I'm trying to remember their names. One thing about me, I'm going to forget the names of these people in the books. Like, I do not remember characters, but she is trying to get Bo Towers to communicate with her because she needs scripts from him for his autobiography. Girl, I do not remember which one is when the actual person writes it. Biography. But she's trying to get his like notes for it and stuff, and he's not sending it. He's ignoring all correspondence. She ends up in LA because it's like some conference thing I think they're at. So she ends up saying to her manager she will go to his house and try to talk to him. She does that. He doesn't want to talk to her, but she ends up having to stay, and in turn she ends up helping him to be able to write the book. And he also helps her with writing a book as well, because she does want to be a writer, but there is someone at her publishing house who is trying to sabotage her, and we see all that go down as well. And yeah, just overall it's just a nice book, lovely development within, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a really good book. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I'd recommend it just as an easy read. It's not thought-provoking, but it's fun to read, and I would read this in summer. Like, this gives me big summer vibes being in LA. So another book that I have finally read is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. So I have completely finished the Twisted series now, and I'm actually happy to be done with it, like, because I really wanted to complete it. I really enjoyed the most Twisted Hate and Twisted Games. Twisted Lies and Twisted Love would be my least favourites. Twisted Lies, I did enjoy it. However, I do feel like there was a lot of information that I did not need in the book. Like, reading like day-to-day things that had no relevance to the plot, please take it out, because now the book is just longer than absolutely necessary. I just did not have the time for all of that personally. This follows Christian Harper and Stella Alonso. So Stella is a social media influencer and she loses her job. She has judgmental family, so she feels like she needs it to work, and she has her own hopes and dreams that she ends up doing and fulfilling, which is really lovely to see. And then Christian Harper is her landlord, and we see him introduced in Twisted Games, to be fair, or Twisted Hate. I can't remember which one of them two comes first, but in two other books we also see Christian. So yeah, so we've seen him before. He, when he first ever sees Stella, is like infatuated with her, and that's how the rent gets brought down so she can afford to live in his building. And that was with the other friend that she lived there with. Like, I don't know, this is all over the place. At the end of the day, in this, Stella is has a stalker. It died down and then he reappeared, and Christian wants to get to the bottom of who her stalker is, as well as having his own problems within his security company and finding out who the mole in that is, who's giving information to competitors. I just think, like, with the story, it's just really unrealistic. Like, all the like killings and stuff like that, I could have done without that in a book. Like, just give me the romance. I don't know what all the rest of it is, but I wasn't feeling it. I recommend it just to finish the series, but standalone, I probably wouldn't be too fussed about this book. And it's not to say it's not good, because it is good. It's just, I just feel like there was a lot of unnecessary bits in it, but it's nice and steamy to an extent as well. Like those sort of scenes were really good, so if you're into that, I'd read it for that as well, I guess. Okay, so now to get into the book that I am the most excited to talk about is, I'm a fantasy girl now, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I loved this book. Like, I really like fantasy, and I like it because you still get like that romance aspect in it as well, but this book had me, I gasped so many times. Like, this book is good. It follows Feyre, who is a human, and then she ends up in the land of like the fairies and stuff like that. Feyre's out hunting, and one day when she's out hunting, she sees this wolf, and she's deciding whether it's actually a wolf or whether it's a fairy, which is like who is seen as like the worst people in the human world. And she decides to kill it with an ash arrow, sorry, and kills him. And then she brings it home, sells the fur, blah blah blah. And then Tamlin, which is a fairy from Prythian, I think, or Highburn, Prythian. I truly, honestly, I do not understand the worlds in this, but he's from Prythian, I believe, the Spring Court, and he comes and he takes her away. He says, it's either I kill you right now, or you come and you live with me in Prythian for killing my friend. So of course she goes and she lives with him, and she's on like the other side of the wall, and now she's with all the fairies and all the scary things are happening. She ends up falling in love with Tamlin, and her falling in love with him can break a curse. And yeah, I don't want to go too into it, but it's like, I think it's got like a Hunger Games vibe at the end where she's like fighting for survival. Guys, honestly, the book is so interesting. I understand why like it's so popular on like TikTok or Booktok or whatever. I get the hype surrounding this book. Absolutely loved it, and in turn I ended up buying A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm halfway through this. I'm obsessed with this. This is when Feyre comes back from under the mountain, and now she's with Rhys and no longer with Tamlin. Obsessed, because she has to do her she's obligated to spend a week with Rhys once a month, and then we see how that unfolds. I don't want to ruin it if you haven't watched it, read it. And then I just got the rest of the series as well. So A Court of Silver Flames, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and A Court of Frost and Starlight. And just honestly, I'm so excited for these, but apparently this series hasn't finished. Huh? What more is there to talk about? I really don't know, but I'm obsessed with it, and I am loving fantasy so much, to the point that I also picked up Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Yeah, Rebecca Yarros as well, because I've heard good things about this and I'm excited for this. I think this is another popular one on TikTok. Do I know anything about it? No, but I've just seen pure escapism, think Hunger Games meets 50 Shades. I cannot wait to read that as well. Like, oh my gosh, nobody told me fantasy was that girl. But yeah, that's all the books I've read recently. I'm still on A Court of Mist and Fury, about halfway through at this point, and I can't wait to finish this video so I can get back to reading it, because oh my gosh, like, I'm really loving it. I enjoy Feyre's character so much, and I'm really loving Rhys. Like, I really enjoy Rhys's character. I enjoy seeing the magic and stuff that they go through and hearing about the different courts and stuff like that. Like, I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, that's the books I've read recently. Some new books that I've also picked up. And yeah, if there's any recommendations for like fantasy and stuff like that, please let me know, because I don't want to just be stuck of only reading Sarah J Maas or Rebecca Yarros after I've read, what is it called? The Fourth Wing. I don't want to just be stuck with them. I kind of want to read like a plethora of different authors. So yeah, I'm just so happy that I've finally got into the world of fantasy. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't know how good it could be here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've read any of the books or have any recommendations, please leave them down below. Thank you. Bye.